The Nebraska Senior Amateur Championship was held for the 16th time in 2014, while the Nebraska Senior Match Play Championship was held for the 4th time. Never before had a player won both championships in the same year, until 2014. Mike Krumland of Columbus had won both championships before, winning the Senior Amateur in 2006 and the inaugural Senior Match Play in 2011. He was already the only player to have won both titles, and in 2014 became the first player to sweep both titles in the same year. Krumland's great runs started ideally on his home course, Elks Country Club in Columbus. There was a logjam at the top after round 1, as 4 players were tied for the lead at the halfway point. Lincoln's Steve Peterson, Omaha's Greg Van Nami and Mike Rutt, and two-time defending champion Steve Samuelson of Fremont all shot first-round 74s and led at 2 over. Krumland mustered just a single birdie, but was just 2 strokes back in a decorated group at 4 over 76. Fremont's John Sajovic and Bennington's Jay Muller were tied with Krumland at 76, along with Holdridge's Scott Gardner and Wayne's Doug Rose, while Papillion's Dave Schillinglaw was just a stroke back after a 75. Day 2 provided a small window to complete the final round, as some of the most severe weather of the season was expected. After initial delay in the morning, the final round pairings were changed to a late morning shotgun start. This meant that all 4 leaders would play together. However, none would make a move, all finishing outside of the top 5. Krumland did make a move, and also made more birdies than the 4 first-round leaders combined in the final round.
Yeah, I knew it was getting kind of tricky out there. I started out, we started on number 2, and I hit it to 3 feet. And number 3, I hit it to a couple of feet. And number 4, I hit about 6 feet for birdie and missed it. 5, I hit it to about 2 feet. So I'm 3 under through the first, 4 holes we play. Yeah. And I'm going like, this could be pretty good.
By the time Krumland made his birdie on the par 4, 5th hole, he already held a 2-stroke lead, taking control as no one in the lead group would shoot under 78. The 2008 champion, John Sajovic, was also making a move alongside Krumland, and was 1 under through 8 holes. The two began to battle down the back 9 as Krumland birdied numbers 10 and 12 to get under par for the championship. Sajovic had back-to-back birdies on 12 and 13, but Krumland answered with his 6th birdie of the day on the par 5 15th. Sajovic bogeyed the same hole and was 5 shots back of Krumland. Krumland bogeyed a couple holes down the stretch, and Sajovic finished strong with a birdie on his final hole. But it wasn't enough, as Krumland captured the title after 4 under 68 for an even par 144 total.
I thought I could win at Oak Hills, and John beat me, and I thought I was going to win in Norfolk. I had a really good chance up there a couple of years ago, and Bill Lawson went crazy and made 7 birdies on the back 9 and won. And I had another chance at Woodland Hills, and Knox Jones beat me by a couple, and yeah, it's great. I've been trying really hard.
The 4th Nebraska Senior Match Play Championship traveled west to Grand Island's Riverside Golf Club. Krumland was no stranger to Riverside either, having made the short trip from Columbus many times to play the flat, tree-lined golf course. The championship began with an 18-hole stroke play qualifier to determine the 16 players that would be seeded into the championship division bracket. Krumland's quest for the sweep did not get off to a great start, as double bogeys on numbers 3 and 8 led to a front 9 42. A birdie on the par 3 10th hole turned the tide for Krumland, though, and a back 9 35 got him into the bracket as the number 7 seed. The day belonged to 2005 Nebraska Senior Amateur champion John Haney of Lincoln. Haney made just a single bogey during his round of 1 under 71. He was the only player under par and earned qualifying medalist honors and the number 1 seed for match play. Haney won his first match 2-1, but ran into a local in the quarterfinals. Grand Island's Alan Bolts lost the first 3 holes in his first round match, but fought back and won 4-3. Bolts then kept it rolling against Haney in the quarterfinals, winning 4 of the first 7 holes and closing out the match with a par on number 14 to win 6-4. Krumland would not have an easy road, as he had to defeat the defending champion Chris Mengen and Bennington's Jay Muller in the first 2 rounds. The gauntlet continued for Krumland as he faced Fremont's Steve Samuelson in the semifinals. Krumland needed some final hole magic and delivered with a chip-in for birdie on the par 5 18th to force extra holes. Krumland rolled in a birdie putt on number 2 to close out the match and advance to the final. Meanwhile, Bolts jumped out to an early lead against Omaha's Pete Godwin, and after losing his 3-up lead, won 3 of the final 5 holes to win the match 2-up. Bolts would face Krumland for the title. Krumland wouldn't lead until making a par on the 10th hole, while Bolts answered quickly on number 11 to square the match. But Krumland was about to go on a tear. Krumland made a couple of good pars on holes 13 and 14 to win both and go 2-up. Then, on the par 4 15th hole, Krumland short-sighted himself and had a delicate chip. He summoned his short game magic once again and sank another chip for birdie. He was 3-up with 3 to play.
Made on Sammy was a 5-pace shot, which I practiced all winter long, 3, 5, and 7. The one I chipped in on Allen was a 3-stepper, and the one I just missed on 14 was a 7-stepper. So I had all those covered. Those were like easy little shots, and so I mean I could make a lot of those, and because I practiced them a lot. But
Krumland stuck his approach shot close on 16. And after Bolts missed his birdie try, it was a conceded birdie and a 4-2 win for the title. Krumland had won the final 4 holes to complete the senior sweep.
You know, it's really freaking cool. But it's pretty special to win twice.